Ew, okay, this connection gives me like the heebie-jeebies. I want to talk a little bit about Ghislaine Maxwell's connection to Russia, Vladimir Putin, Ivanka Trump, and the Murdoch family via the woman that she is posing with in this photo. The woman in this photo is named Dasha Zhukova, and actually a few months back, we dove into who these women's parents are. Dasha's father is a man named Alexander Zhukov, and if I'm mispronouncing these last names, I deeply apologize. I said this last time I talked about these people. He's a Russian oil billionaire with ties to organized crime and arms smuggling. Dasha's mother worked within the Russian government and is a molecular biologist named Yelena Zhukova. After Dasha's parents, Alexander and Yelena, divorced, she would go on to marry Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox News. Okay, so those are Dasha's parents, right? Dasha is an art collector, a socialite. She is also a magazine editor for the magazine Garage magazine, and she was an editor for Pop magazine. She is also the owner of a major contemporary art museum in Moscow, Russia. She was involved in a massive controversy back in 2014 after she posed on like this art piece that was a sculpture of a black woman in a compromising position, and it was like, I guess, sculpted to be a chair. And on MLK Day back in 2014, she posted a photo of herself sitting on this chair. It was just not a good look at all, just really bad all around. Okay, follow me here. Dasha was married to a man named Roman Abramovich, and they have 2 children together. Roman Abramovich is one of Vladimir Putin's closest friends and advisors. He has been since before Putin was even given power. Roman is actually a huge reason as to why Putin was even handed so much power in the first place, because Roman had such a close relationship with Putin's predecessor, Boris Yeltsin. He personally recommended that Putin be put into power. He was one of the first people to recommend Putin be put into power over Russia, and he recommended this directly to his friend Boris Yeltsin. Next to Miriam Adelson, Roman Abramovich is one of the largest donors to the blue and white state. He is also one of the wealthiest citizens of, as he has dual citizenship due to the law of return. He, like Miriam Adelson, fund the creation of settlements in occupied territories of Palestine. He owns shopping centers in the blue and white state. He funds hospitals in the blue and white state. And he also funds a lot of tech and energy startups within the blue and white state as well. Roman Abramovich's lore runs so deep with scandals, crime, international politics, international celebrities, international socialites. It's just really insane. He's just like one of those people who I've researched, and I'm just like, why are you the way that you are? Even his friends and family and people who are like close to him even admit that he's like this evil, vengeful, calculated man. And like, you can like see it through the screen, I swear. I may actually come back and do a full deep dive on Roman Abramovich because he does have financial ties to some of Donald Trump's largest donors and advisors. It doesn't appear that he's super relevant to like the whole Jeffrey situation, but very interesting nonetheless, because ultimately this guy is a problem, right? Okay, so he's obviously, like we said, Putin's friend and advisor, has been for a very long time, but it should be known that bro has beef with literally everybody. Okay, let me explain. Bro has beef with Canada because he was sanctioned by them back in 2022. He has beef with the European Union because they also sanctioned him in 2022. Beef with Australia because they also sanctioned him. Beef with the Swiss government because they also sanctioned him. He has beef with New Zealand because they sanctioned him. And most of all, he has beef with Ukraine because Zelensky himself personally sanctioned Roman Abramovich back in 2022 for him assisting Putin in the devastation of Ukraine. He was one of 35 people who were found to be involved with Alexei Navalny. If you don't know who that is, you can go watch my deep dive that I did on Putin. It will explain everything to you. It's just a devastating situation. And at one point, the United States, when Donald Trump was sitting as the president, sanctioned Roman Abramovich. I don't believe that Roman Abramovich is currently still under sanctions by the United States, but he still is sanctioned by all of the other places that we mentioned. And when Roman started to be sanctioned by so many different countries, that is when he began investing a lot of his money into the blue and white state and to Saudi Arabia, probably because those are 2 places that never get sanctioned and his money is safe and sound, provided the preservation of the blue and white state's government as well as the Saudi government. Both places that the United States is very cozy with right now. Anyway, sorry, got a little off track there for a second. Roman Abramovich owns the yacht that Ivanka Trump's best friend, Wendy Deng, was spotted on in 2016 along with Putin and his allies. This is what would spark rumors of Ivanka's best friend, Wendy Deng, being in a relationship with Vladimir Putin, rumors that would later turn out to actually hold some weight. So who is Wendy Deng? This is Wendy Deng in this photo with Dasha and her father. She is one of Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner's partners, closest friends. They go to sporting games together. They go on vacation together. They go to red carpet events together. They go way, way back. Wendy Dang is also Rupert Murdoch's ex-wife, which makes this photo so interesting because Dasha's mother is now married to Wendy Dang's ex-husband. I don't know if anyone recalls, but Wendy Dang was the ex-wife of Rupert Murdoch, because we know he has many. She was the ex-wife who like caught the pie that was thrown at him while he was in court. But yes, Wendy, who was posing in that photo with Dasha, her ex-husband's new stepdaughter, is Ivanka Trump's best friend, as well as the ex-girlfriend of Vladimir Putin. But like, something that's very interesting to me is this photo right here of Dasha and Ghislaine Maxwell, taken right around the same time that Ghislaine Maxwell and Rupert Murdoch posed for a photo together at an event they were at. Something that no one ever imagined would ever happen, right? Because Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, and Rupert Murdoch were literally arch enemies until Robert Maxwell's final breath. Ghislaine is so deeply loyal to her father. This is just an interaction no one, the world never expected. Anyways, after Dasha and Roman divorced, she went on to marry Stavros Nikiros III, and they have 3 children together. And yes, this is the same Stavros who dated Paris Hilton and Mary-Kate Olsen. So I don't know, I just wanted to share kind of like those weird connections, whether they're friendship or familial. I just think they're very interesting. And Ghislaine's connection and friendship with Dasha is one of the many reasons why I would not be shocked if Ghislaine Maxwell was pardoned. God forbid she ended up getting a one-way ticket to Russia. It is so tricky to dive into Jeffree and Ghislaine's connections to Russia just because of how the Russian media is and the grip that the Kremlin has on the media. I think there's so many uncharted connections with Ghislaine and Jeffree and the entire co-conspirator ring within Russia that we will never know about because there is no free press, which is exactly what our current administration would like to see happen to United States media.